Welcome to Affiliate Buzz, the longest-running program on affiliate marketing. James and Arlene Martell are here to inspire, inform, and motivate you with expert insight, interviews, and information that will increase your bottom line. Advance your affiliate marketing efforts every week on Affiliate Buzz. Now, please welcome James and Arlene.
Hi, it's James Martell here, and yes, welcome to edition number 471 of the Affiliate Buzz, where we've been keeping affiliates inspired, informed, and motivated to succeed with affiliate programs since way back in 2003. If you're joining us live here today on Cranberry Radio, it's great to have you with us. If you're joining us through a podcast on your smartphone, tablet, computer, or Wi-Fi radio, a very special welcome to you as well. Arlene is away today, and I have no guest, so I guess it's just you and I. And I've decided it's probably a good opportunity to talk about, yes, in a matter of weeks, you can be launching a profitable podcast and why you should. And before we get into all of the reasons why, let me talk about how this episode came about. And I was literally just chatting with Arlene this morning about podcasting as it relates to affiliates in the affiliate marketing space. And after chatting it back and forth a bit and talking about why does it seem that affiliates are not jumping on the podcasting bandwagon, and I basically, in the conversation, I became reserved to the fact that maybe it's just not for affiliate marketers. Maybe they're just not getting it. I honestly really don't know why. And I say that because there's tons of people starting very profitable, very successful podcasts. And how do I know that? Well, on my other show, Podcasting Mastery, I interview successful podcasters who have extremely profitable podcasts almost every week on the Podcasting Mastery podcast. And I'm kind of looking at this whole space thinking, and I guess I said we're just you and I, so I guess I'm talking to you, is why are you not podcasting? Is it because you are very successful in other areas of marketing and you just don't need the added traffic? Is it because maybe you're a little fearful of getting behind a microphone and talking? I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, but I was just kind of looking down the list of some of the reasons that I think people should podcast. And if you're thinking about starting your own podcast, and I want to talk in depth about this today, I want to really kind of dig in. I want to talk about some of the other successful podcasters. I want to talk about some of the stats that I'm seeing, maybe even in my new show, which we can talk about. But obviously, some of the obvious things is increased traffic. It gives you the ability to establish yourself as an expert in your marketplace. If you were to have a look around, I bet you'll find there's slim to nobody in your topic area as far as a podcaster, maybe a handful at the most. Statistically, the numbers are for every blog that's out there, there's only one podcast. So if you could think back, if you happen to be around, have happened to be around this long, since back in the 2004, 2005, 2006, when WordPress was finally starting to take flight and blogging was becoming very popular, that was a great time to start building out a great blog. And those people that did have been rewarded for it for over a decade. Podcasting, we're there. That's where we are. We're right back at the beginning of where blogging was. So it gives you the ability to generate leads, more customers, build brand loyalty, establish credibility and trust, further develop relationships. It allows you to talk from one to many, so there's a lot of time benefits. You get to create an audience that is predisposed to buy what you have to offer. You get to dramatically expand your online footprint, unlike blogging, where you have the ability to add your blog to your website and maybe share it out through social media and your newsletter. Podcasting gives you a much larger reach because you get to do all of that, the same things you do with a blog, but you also get into iTunes and Spreaker and Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, all of these major podcasting directories. It gives you, and this solves a problem for many who are struggling with adding fresh content on a regular basis. This gives you great, fresh, SEO-friendly content for your site. It can quickly set you apart from your competition. And the big thing is you can sell more, way more. And I just had a chance to do some recent interviews on the Podcasting Mastery podcast, where I talk with podcasters who are, of course, doing exactly that. And I'm going to refer to a couple of them as we go. But if I may put a little plug in for the Podcasting Mastery podcast, it is a show where I get to interview other very successful podcasters, as I said earlier, and talk to them at length about what they're doing with their show, why they started it, lessons they've learned, how they're monetizing it, all the things that a potential podcaster would want to know by listening to other people who've gone before you that are currently doing it and doing it well themselves. So give you an example, episode number 53 was with a gentleman named Ryan Stewman, and his nickname is the Hardcore Closer. And of course, his podcast is called the Hardcore Closer Podcast. And he's not really a hardcore closer, but the way he's positioned his show, and he shares the story where he came up with it in the episode. But the name of the episode is How to Quickly Convert a Podcast into a Sales Generating Machine. And one reason I have found that people are not podcasting is they haven't quite figured out how money is made with the podcast. Well, he completely puts that to bed, as do many of the other guests as well. So I would encourage you to definitely have a listen to that and dig in over at Podcasting Mastery episode number 53. And now he's had a podcast that's been around for a while, highly successful. Another example would be Rocky Lee, who is actually a podcasting coaching student of mine, and he's got the Clarity Coach podcast at claritycoach.ca. And in Rocky's particular case, he just released episode number 13. He's already starting to see new clients. He's starting to sell already, and that's only 13 episodes in. And he talks about his experiences and just shared a ton of information on how to attract influential guests for your show and the reasons why and how he's gone about it. Because another thing that I found in the podcasting space, especially with new podcasters, especially those who are maybe feeling a little timid about approaching somebody to be on their show, even if they're brand new, he talks about that, how he's landing very influential guests right out of the gate here. And in fact, even since that episode went live, which was yesterday, about an hour ago, I received another message from him that he has another very influential guest that just actually sought him out to get on his show. As for traffic, let me share some traffic stats with you for the Podcasting Mastery podcast. And that show has 54 episodes in total. And as I said, I interview other successful podcasters. But if you look at the stats for the show, and I use Blueberry podcasting statistics, and Blueberry is a podcasting hosting company, and we host our podcasts through them because they give us a very nice statistics package. You can host your episodes, your individual MP3 audio files for your show on your own existing hosting company, like your website host. And that's fine, but it doesn't give you the stats, whereas Blueberry gives you actually the breakdown of how many people are listening, where they're listening from, how far into the episodes are they getting, all of the stats you need to know as a podcaster. And listen to this. So for the month of July, we had a total of 73,655 listeners to the Podcasting Mastery podcast. And I do not do any advertising for that show. As far as paid advertising, I don't do any Google AdWords. I don't do any Facebook ads. It's pure natural traffic that's coming from iTunes. It's coming from Stitcher and iHeartRadio. It's coming from my own site. It's coming from the social media networks. It's coming from other podcasters coming in and listening and sharing that episode. So it's pretty cool. So if you're really looking for a way to establish yourself more visibly as an expert, or maybe you're looking to just generally position yourself as a leader in your marketplace, and you're looking to increase sales, and you're looking to increase traffic, and you're looking to build relationships with your audience, or maybe you're just looking to build an audience, period. Maybe you haven't started that important task yet. Podcasting, in my opinion, if I had to start over, if let's say the whole thing collapsed and for some reason James had to begin again, the very first thing I would do, bar none, absolutely, is start a podcast. because I find it's the quickest, fastest, easiest way to build up an audience. It's the fastest way to build relationships with that audience. And it's probably not the fastest way to sell out of the gate, because you can always pull your credit card out and get into Facebook ads or Google ads and stuff like that. But from a natural traffic point of view, where you're not always pulling out your credit card, podcasting, to me, I don't know of really a better way to actually dig in and get established. So timing is right. You take a look at the cars being shipped off the assembly line these days. They're all podcast players built right into the dashboard. Everybody's, for the most part, has a smartphone in their pocket with a podcasting app built right in. So it is the time to start a podcast. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk about a few of the podcasts that we've had a part in developing and talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about personal branding. I want to talk about a couple of books that I want to give to you. I wrote a couple of books recently on the topic of podcasting. You can buy them in Amazon, or you can just wait till the end of the show and I'll actually get them out to you at no cost. So we'll do that and more right after the break.
More Affiliate Buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
Are you looking for the best in WordPress speed, security, and scalability? WP Engine is a digital experience platform for WordPress, powering digital experiences for large brands around the world. With easy-to-use site management tools and powerful do-it-your-way development features, WP Engine gives you the flexibility to build it your way. Improve your SEO and conversion rates with a faster site on WP Engine. Learn more on WPEngine.com.
Is your website hacked? Is your website displaying error messages or loading slowly? Even if there are no signs of malicious activity, your site may still be compromised. Websites, like cars, require regular maintenance to perform at their best and not leave you stranded. At Fjorge, our website maintenance experts can help you assess which one of our maintenance plans will best support your needs. Visit fjorgedigital.com or call 612-877-3840 and get the support and protection your website and business deserve. That's FJORGE digital.com.
Do you look at the task of ranking your site at the top of the search engines like you would climbing the top of Mount Everest? It doesn't have to be. TopSEOs.com knows how hard that climb can be, and they can make top ranking a reality. Top SEOs sends you to only the right search vendors and agencies that they know will work for you. Since 2002, TopSEOs.com has reviewed and researched the best search engine marketing agencies and solutions providers. Don't risk the cost of falling off the proverbial peak of search rankings. Let Top SEOs give you peace of mind. TopSEOs.com, the independent authority on search vendors.
Online anytime. This is Cranberry Radio. Cranberry.fm.
Time now to hear some more Affiliate Buzz. Here's James and Arlene.
Arlene is away today. However, we're talking about how in a matter of weeks you can be launching a profitable podcast. And I think I probably ranted enough on why you should. To me, it's, I think I'm probably preaching to the choir a little bit, I hope. I know we're all affiliate marketers for the most part, but this goes to the agencies as well. And this goes to anybody who is looking to reach out to an audience, build out an existing audience, expand an audience, bring in more sales, bring in more customers. And through our other company that we manage here, Jam Media, the podcasting company, we manage podcasts for many other podcasters. And of course, I've got a podcasting mastery course. I do podcasting coaching. So there's lots of things on the table there. And it gives me the opportunity to see exactly what's going on. And one of the podcasts that we manage, you may have heard of Tim Ferriss. He's got a podcast, Gary Vaynerchuk, but a podcast that we actually manage that I would say it's right at that level is Dan Locke's podcast. And he's out of Vancouver, Canada. In fact, he's got 2 shows now, and we helped him construct and launch them both. And we manage his episodes and his show on an ongoing basis through our producers. And the first show that we launched for him probably 2.5, 3 years ago now is called Shoulders of Titans. And if you want to see a great example of personal branding, I know Tim Ferriss does a great job of that. Gary Vaynerchuk, of course, does a great job of that. Dan Lok does a great job of that. And visit two of his sites. Visit Shoulders of Titans. That's his podcasting site. That's where you'll find his episodes. And his premise is basically you're getting to listen to him, who's a multimillionaire, owner of 15 companies. He interviews others who are worth millions, mostly hundreds of millions, and even there's half a dozen billionaires that he's interviewed on his show. And that's called Shoulders of Titans. And if you also want to see his personal site, it's danlok.com. And that's DANLOK. There's no C, LOK. You want to see a beautiful example of personal branding, check that out. And his most recent show that he's launched, and now this is a really, really, really successful, really, really busy guy, but he gets it. He understands the power of the human voice, the power of having a podcast. And he's launched his second show, which is a daily show. And I think we've published about his 60th episode now. And it's called High Ticket Sales. And he is well known throughout the world as a master at high ticket sales. So I would encourage you to check that show out as well. But it's a great example of personal branding. Rocky Lee, we talked about a little bit about before the break. Whether it's we've got a chiropractor over in the Victoria area that I'm just helping launch a show now through our team. I'm talking with a wonderful lady out of Guam. Her name is Tequila. What a great name, Tequila. And she's launching a beautiful show, and I've been coaching her for the last 3 weeks, and we're making huge headway. And through the coaching program, we get her up and launched within 6 to 8 weeks at the outside. And I work with her directly in this case, helping her get everything in place to actually develop that show, create her intro or outro, all of her graphics, her strategy, her monetization strategy, right through to launch to distribution and syndication through all of the podcasting directories. And then we get her integrated into social media and stuff as well. So her name is Tequila. So I'll be announcing her show coming up when we launch that. Excited about that. She's just a little firecracker. Dr. Cale Copeland's in Victoria, and we're helping him launch it. He happens to be a chiropractor. And then we have another, actually quite a large client in the Vancouver area, and we manage their podcast on a weekly basis, and we're into over year 3 now. And they're well over 120 episodes, I believe. And they're a funeral home. So if you're wondering if there's where podcasting fits, you might be surprised if you can go from a multimillionaire who owns 15 different companies running his show to a coach which is Rocky. He's a personal and relationship coach. Tequila, Dr. Cale's a chiropractor. Tequila's a coach as well. And then we talked about, now there's just so many of them. So I would encourage you, though, to check out the Podcasting Mastery podcast. Have a listen to that. Go through and listen to what everybody's doing to generate revenue with their podcast. And you may be surprised. You can see these shows go really quickly. I know I interviewed, and I'm going to try to remember her name quickly. Allison Melody was her name. It was episode number 11, and they grew their podcast from 0 to, I think it was 90,000, 100,000 downloads in 90 days. It was just really, really quick. There's another great show from a lady named Jerry. She's a professor out of a big university in the U.S., and she's got a podcast called Ben Franklin's World Podcast, and it's a U.S. history show, and it literally gets something like, I can't recall the numbers, but the numbers that she has for her show is astounding. I'll let you listen to hear the exact numbers. Don't let me get it wrong, but it's very impressive. And so we're talking coaches, we're talking, just about every possible topic that you can think of is in there. And the creativity for you creatives, seriously consider starting a podcast, because it is such a thrill to put together a great episode. I literally just launched the episode with Rocky Lee, episode number 54 this morning. It's a great episode. He was brilliant, and he's a new podcaster. He's only 13 episodes in, as I said, and he's just nailing it right off the bat. He's going to see nothing but business come from his show. So now the coaching program, very simple. We keep it simple. Of course, I've got the Podcasting Mastery course, and I've got the manuals. I've got all of the episode outlines. I've got everything we need to get you up and running quickly. And what I do is I work with you on a weekly basis for 30 to 45 minutes, and we map out what we're going to get done that week. The initial call, we figure out what you're going to do. We start to talk strategy. We talk about how you're going to monetize it. If you've already got an existing course, or you're an affiliate with some great products, or you have even a brick and mortar business, and I've talked to a lot of brick and mortar businesses on the Podcasting Mastery podcast who are doing phenomenal as a method of promoting their brick and mortar type business. I encourage you to definitely listen to that. I believe that's episode number 51 or 52. Older gentleman, he's a brilliant guy. But what we do is we work on a weekly basis. I take all the pressure off you. We help you out with a little bit of our team. We kind of get things organized. And ultimately, within 6 to 8 weeks, you will be sitting in front of your microphone, even if that scares you to death right now, which it does to most. You'll be sitting in front of your microphone doing your second episode, because your first episode will have already been published, and you'll already be in iTunes and Spreaker and Stitcher and iHeartRadio and all the big podcasting directories. You'll, of course, have the show notes, SEO rich, and on your website for added traffic there. And you'll be comfortable behind the microphone. You won't be worried about technical stuff. You won't have to worry about that. We'll teach you how to put a little virtual team around you with a little editor and somebody to write your show notes. And we'll just make it easy for you so that you can focus on developing each weekly episode for your show. I'll teach you how to interview guests. We'll get you up and running, and you'll have fun. I guarantee you, if podcasting, if you like online marketing and you have a little bit of a flair for getting, if you can share your personality with people a little bit, you'll be a natural, and I'll help you all the way. So let's do this. Let's take another quick break. Then after the break, I'm going to share those two books, talk a little bit about what's in them, and then we'll get you to fire in. I'll tell you how you can get a hold of a copy of both at no charge and no strings attached, and I'll be happy to get them out to you. So we'll do that right after the break.
More Affiliate Buzz coming up after we hear from our sponsors.
How much are your best ideas worth? PriorThings.com gives you an added layer of protection for all of your intellectual property, ideas, and creative things. New business idea, pitch deck, PowerPoint presentation, song lyrics, source code, killer blog posts. We help you protect it all. How do we do it? We use the same technology platform that secures transactions for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Learn more at PriorThings.com. Check out exclusive listener pricing for Cranberry Radio listeners by going to bit.ly/foundercircle.
Looking for a white label SEO and social platform for your clients? Think
eBrands.
Free and unlimited SEO audit reports.
eBrands.
Premium Facebook apps and welcome page creators.
eBrands.
Twitter management app, analytics, and mobile site generators.
eBrands.
Let eBrands manage your search and social media campaigns and give you and your clients access to their white label dashboard, which have great reports that will wow your clients and deliver great ROI and results. Try eBrands for 30 days. Go to eBrandsWithAZ.com or call 1-866-625-5717. That's eBrands with a Z for
eBrands.
A more refreshing kind of talk radio. Cranberry Radio. Cranberry.fm.
Time now to hear some more Affiliate Buzz. Here's James and Arlene.
Arlene is away today, so it's just you and I, and we're talking about, yes, in a matter of weeks, you can be launching a profitable podcast, and I think I might have went overboard on why you should, but you definitely should, or at least seriously consider it. And I want to send you out a couple books to help you in that direction. They're both on the topic of podcasting, and they're both available at Amazon. You can go pick them up there for $9.95 a piece, or you can just send an email to the help desk, which I'll give you in just a minute, and we'll be happy to send you out a digital version for your listening pleasure, I hope. And then also within the books, on page 11 of both, there's a link to a very special audiobook version of the same that you can also listen to if you prefer to listen rather than read, or maybe you like to do both. Now, the first book, and people know who've been listening for any time at all, that I'm a huge fan of Basecamp. And I run my entire podcast, in fact, all my shows, through Basecamp. And the title of this book is called Basecamp, The Smarter, Faster, Easier Way to Manage a Successful Podcast. And in it, you quickly learn how to manage your podcast episodes, how to schedule and coordinate guests, how to get and stay amazingly organized, how to easily manage your own virtual team, and just a ton more. So it's really designed in such a way to show you how we run the show here and how we can put out a nice quality product each week for about 90 minutes worth of our time. So it doesn't take up a ton of time, and how we engage our team. And I mentioned and alluded to a little bit before the break, typically you like to have a writer. He's going to create your show notes for you each week for your episode. And you can see if you head over to podcastingmastery.com and click on any one of the episodes, you'll see what I mean by the show notes. Or if you head over to jamesmartell.com and click on Affiliate Buzz, and you'll see the show notes for each particular episode there. And it's nice to have a writer take care of that. Same with having the audio edited. If you want to edit out the ums or the ahs and any pregnant pauses, any little clicks, anything you want to get rid of, and then of course add your intro and the outro, you can definitely get that done by an editor, low cost. So putting together a virtual team is important because it allows you to focus on the episodes and not deal with anything technical. Because I think as marketing people, salespeople, as the thought leaders, we shouldn't be doing that. We should be getting somebody else to do that, and we should be out building profitable episodes, not just profitable shows, but profitable episodes each week as you put them out the door to your audience and growing audience. Book number 2 is called Outsourcing Essentials for Podcasters: The Secrets to Hiring Talent on a Beach Hut Budget. And I must say, Arlene just had a quick look through the books. I didn't realize she hadn't even read them yet, because she usually reads all my stuff. And she goes, "Wow, these are great." And I was like, "Well, thank you, honey buns." So this one is talking about primarily using and building out that team. So whether you need a virtual assistant, you need a writer for your show notes, you need an editor for your audio, whatever you happen to need, Outsourcing Essentials for Podcasters: The Secrets to Hiring Talent on a Beach Hut Budget shows you how to do that. So you'll learn how to quickly post a job, how to easily find the right person, how to keep the job on track, how to get the best price for the job you have underway, and just a ton more. So what I've done in Outsourcing Essentials for Podcasters is poured what I've learned and distilled down what I've learned over 1,600 projects being outsourced, originally Elance and Upwork, and a little bit in Fiverr as well, and working personally with over 500 different freelancers. I've poured all what I've learned into a nice condensed little book that you're more than welcome to have a free copy of. No problem. So to get the book, just simply send an email to Arlene. Actually, no, that's wrong. Helpdesk, helpdesk at jamesmartell.com. You'll be addressing it to Arlene, but the email address is helpdesk at jamesmartell.com, and she will quickly fire off both copies of that book to you. And then again on page 11, you'll find a link to a special page that has a passcode. The passcode's at the bottom of the page, where you can go in and grab the audiobook versions of these as well. And I should mention, even if you're not a podcaster or considering podcasting, definitely listen to those 2 audios, because you'll find I share a ton on using Basecamp and a ton on outsourcing. And it's completely transferable over to blogging or whatever you happen to be doing. So if you're looking to learn more about managing a successful project online, running your business in a more streamlined way, or you're looking to hire low-cost talent to help you move faster, or a combination of the two, definitely take us up on that offer and grab that book. Now, the coaching program, we have 2 spots coming up available for the month of September. I only coach 2 people a month for podcasting. So if you'd like to learn more about that, definitely fire off an email to Arlene, and I'll be happy to talk with you about that for a 30-minute free consultation. No pressure, just to see if we've got a fit. And if we do, and everything seems to fit for you, then we will begin the process of putting your show together so that by mid-October, end of October at the latest, which will put you into prime time in the online world, your show will be up live and running, and you'll be already published your first episode, and the balance will be underway, and you'll be starting to attract an audience. So again, if that's of interest to you, send off an email to Arlene and at her email address, helpdesk@jamesmartell.com. And also, if you're interested in maybe learning about the Podcasting Mastery course, which is scheduled for release in mid-September, just stay tuned on that, and we'll be sending the details out on that towards the middle of next month. All right, so I can see we are pretty much out of time. Keep in mind that if there's anything that I happen to mention here that you'd like to review, that we do take all the show notes for you, including everything discussed, and you will find the show notes for this particular episode at podcastingmastery.com. Actually, that's not true. At jamesmartell.com/AB473. That's jamesmartell.com/AB473. And a reminder that if you'd like to be alerted each week to new episodes, and I hope you do, I do invite you, as usual, if you haven't already, to take 30 seconds right now, open up your email and send a blank email to affiliate_buzz@aweber, and that will get you subscribed automatically. That's affiliate_buzz@aweber.com. All right, so thanks again to all our listeners, and thanks to you for joining me today and listening to another edition of the Affiliate Buzz.
The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and their guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff and management of Cranberry News Marketing and Cranberry.fm. Rebroadcasts or retransmission of this content without proper consent is prohibited.